When it comes to Quest 2 facial interfaces, I like a fan on mine to get rid of that fog. But a lot of you out there have said, yours doesn't really fog, you don't have a problem with that, you just want a good facial interface. And XROS has sent us not one, but 2 facial interfaces to check out. Let's open them up. An interesting fact here, they sent us 2 because you can get the black one for $40. You ready for it? Or the gray one for $50. Black, gray.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
Hopefully there will be more of an obvious difference in person, because they just used the same picture, I think. Let's find out. Small sharp unboxing knife to get through that tape. I gotta keep these straight here because I won't be able to tell which one's which. Okay, this one. Well, I guess we're gonna figure out by color because there was papers that came with them in the box that were kind of attached to each one. Okay, this one's gotta be the black one, right? They did an interesting thing. So this is like a multi-layered facial interface, which I've never seen anything quite like that before. They say that it's made out of a couple different layers to add extra flexibility and make it fit your face more comfortably. And they didn't go with PU leather, they went with a foam. Here's your typical foam pad, your nose light bleed cover. But then from there, so this part is like a flexible rubber pad, and then there's another like breathable mesh in here that you can squish before reaching the plastic, like the hard plastic rigid frame that the whole thing is based on. I like innovation, I like seeing something different and new. Okay, is it like just called gray as an edition? There's not like, it's not actually gray. When they have something that's like the red edition of this, and it's not actually a red product, that's just like a red brand name. I swear, these are identical. Okay, well who knows? Maybe they're gonna be so impressive on the headset that I'm not gonna care what color it is, but it's just really weird that one color costs more, and they're definitely an identical color. Perplexing. I'm seeing a potential problem already, and I haven't even got it on my face, but let's get it on the face. So the problem that I saw is definitely real. That nice thin second layer of mesh foam they made in there lets light through. It's too thin, it's too breathable, and I see light coming through the top of it. Beyond that, as far as facial interfaces go, this is a pretty uncomfortable one. The nose slit right here doesn't go back very far in, which I guess that's nice if you're really trying to kill the light bleed, but it's pushing pressure on the top of my nose. And for someone who doesn't have that big of a nose, I feel like this is gonna be an issue for a lot of people. Basically, if I was gonna keep this, I would just cut this line a little further even. Ah, there we go. I just ripped it a little. Oh, better. Still not terribly comfortable. Surprisingly, with all that padding and layers, you'd think this would be like the most comfortable interface by far I've ever put on. And putting it on, it's okay. It's just not great. What they've done that's kind of weird is all that extra padding and thickness, it creates, I wanna make sure I say this right, because it's kind of confusing. So the way most facial interfaces work is you have a big, thick piece of plastic that the pad sits on. The pad is as big as the plastic. And so when that comes in contact with your face, regardless of how well that pad spreads out or is there, you still have a pretty thick piece of plastic pushing on your face. It's kind of like the difference between one of those skinny little tiny bike seats and then a thicker, wider bike seat. This is the thicker bike seat. Now this, because of the way they added this extra secondary layer to it, the secondary layer is not very wide, and you feel the weird pressure coming from behind this rigid frame here, meaning instead of it feeling like someone's pushing with like 2 fingers on your face, it feels like half a finger is just putting pressure all the way around, which feels just not good. Even just taking this thing like this and trying to find a comfortable way to put on your face, you can tell that it's just not gonna spread and evenly distribute the pressure. It's very pointed pressure. I don't like that. The interface quality itself feels pretty nice. It snaps in really good and stays there. Some strange choices, because I like that they're trying to improve it, but the ways they went about it, I don't think really improved it at all. Let me go game on one for a while. I wanna see if this fogs up differently because it's got the foam here, it's got this breathable foam in here. I wanna see if that acts different. I wanna see if long-term, if I play more and it's pushing on my face a little longer, I wanna see how it ends up feeling. I'm gonna install my gray edition on one and my black edition on the other and go play around with both of them a little bit. What if I just wore it without the pad? Oh man, that's the worst feeling thing I've ever felt. Ooh. But actually trying it without the pad really makes you see why it feels that way. The only part that's actually putting any pressure is in the dead center here. And because this is all flexible, it's not cupping that, it's pushing that. Just not a brilliant design here. It seems smart when you hold it in hand. That's what's so perplexing about this. Like, you feel this and you're like, wow, this seems like this is gonna make sense. The minute it touches your face, it's terrible. But we're thorough, so I'm gonna go play some games. I'll be right back. This is gonna be miserable.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
All right. This wins an award for the most uncomfortable facial interface I have ever used. It is just shockingly pointy up against your face. This right here was wearing on my nose the whole time. My nose hurts. I actually feel a lump there right now from that. Up here, same thing. It was just pushing it on just very thin little areas on my face and then on the cheekbones too. XROS, I like that you tried, but you really missed the mark. It could have been so much better between the light bleed, between the issues that I just feel like this whole thing would come apart pretty easily. I mean, the glue right there, when I try to take this off, it's trying to pull on the glue down there. There's a hole on one side of one of these already. Yeah, right there. The glue had already come undone and it's dry in there. Not at all worth it, sadly. I'll leave some links to some better facial interfaces in the description, some of the ones that I've liked, and also just not ones that don't all have fans, because I know some people don't really care about the fan, but just anything that's better than this. I would actually use the stock interface over this, which is pretty bad. So thanks for coming out and hanging out with me. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you tried one like this and you know what I mean about the way that thing points and pushes, because it's awful. My face hurts. But I will see you in another reality.